The things that you need to tape up a transmitter, first of all, is toupee tape or wig tape, fusion tape, and just regular old medical tape. A pair of scissors, Q5X PlayerMic, and in this case we'll be taping up a Shure Twinplex microphone. So the first things we need is our fusion tape. I've gone and pre-cut some lengths that we're going to need as we go ahead. The first thing that's very important, on the transmitter itself there is the micro USB port that we use for charging. The first thing we want to do is take a loop of fusion tape and cover that port. The great thing about fusion tape is it only sticks to itself. It's not sticky, but once it attaches to itself, it becomes sticky. So we cover the tape or the USB port, and we put tension on it, stretching the tape out, covering the port, leaving open the ERDA ports, the LED ports, and the on-off button. And then as we touch the tape, it will start to bond, and we keep stretching and make that nice and tight. So we have now sealed the USB port from any moisture that can wick in there during your event. Once we've taped off the USB port, we can now connect the microphone. And again, take another length of our fusion tape, being careful not to touch it to itself, as it does only stick to itself. What's important here is to take the microphone connector, put it beside the pack with the 2.4 gig antenna. We don't want to run the mic cable down the side with the UHF. We want to make sure that antenna is in clear space as much as possible. So the first step is to hold the connector beside the transmitter. And we're going to apply our fusion tape so it's going to hold the wire where it exits the strain relief. And that gives us two benefits. One is it holds the connector safely to the side of the transmitter, as well as provides extra strain relief to the mic cable, preventing the cable from being damaged if it should happen to be tugged or pulled. So we can just keep looping our fusion tape and pulling it tight. And as we go, we just keep working it. And then we can finish off up at the top. Again, making sure we keep the ERDA and the LED holes open. And there. We've got a nice transmitter, nicely taped up. If this cable gets pulled, the stress will be applied to the fusion tape and not to the termination of the connector. The next step is to take the mic cable itself and coil it up and tape it to the side of the pack. Now, this is a standard Shure Twinplex microphone. The mic cable is 8 feet long, so we kind of suggest you might want to do custom cable lengths, which you can order directly from Q5X. You could specify the length that you wanted. If you wanted it 24 inches, 48 inches, we can cut those and re-terminate. So the next step is to coil up the microphone, leaving enough cable out to run the microphone down the jersey. In this case, I've marked with white tape the length that I want to leave out. The rest I will coil up on the back of the pack. Take our fusion tape, and this is just to carry the cable. So we'll just kind of tape that to the side, and we'll wrap up the cable to a point we get to that white piece of tape. And then I tape it to the back of the pack, again keeping the cable away from the UHF antenna, and I bring up the next loop of tape, and this is just going to hold it in place until I put it into the pouch. So we've now taped up our transmitter and the microphone cable, and we're going to put it into one of the neoprene pouches. The NBA uses this pouch, which is inserted into the pocket of the NBA jerseys. We can talk about that in a minute. This is a product that is available through a third party, and it is a sew-in pouch. It comes with this flange of material that then can be sewed into the particular jersey or garment that you're looking to mic up. In this case, we will use this pouch just as an example, but you can see how there's a Velcro opening. The transmitter and the pack is inserted into the opening, and the Velcro closes it up nice and tight so the transmitter remains nice and secure. We have our transmitter taped up, our microphone taped to the transmitter, and our NBA pouch. So we are now going to talk about how to mic up an NBA jersey. Every NBA jersey comes pre-made with a neoprene pocket pre-sewn on the left side of the jersey. We've got our transmitter and microphone cable into the NBA pouch. So now we're going to actually mount the microphone to the jersey. Mounting microphones to the jersey is an art. What's important is the microphone is protected from fabric rubbing as well as being pulled. There's many different ways to do this. I'm just going to do this with some double-sided tape and a little piece of fur, but it can be done with clips, other mic mounting pieces, as well as moleskin, whatever works for you. So I'm just going to tape that down with some fur, and that's going to hold in there nice and tight. I'm then going to peel up the double-sided toupee tape or wig tape. I am then going to run the mic cable down the center of that tape. That's going to stay put. I'm then going to cover that with just some medical grade tape. But this tape is waterproof, it's non-allergenic, so it just eliminates any problem that way. And this will just finish that off. So you can see how we cover up the mic cable. And then we can cut off the excess. And we just keep going. What's important is to make sure that the mic cable is done in such a way that it doesn't impact the player or become an irritant to the player. So we can just keep removing the tape and securing it as we go. And then once it's taped down, we then take our transmitter and stuff it down into the pouch, all the way to the bottom. If there's any excess mic cable left over, you just want to make a loop and just kind of tuck that down in beside the transmitter as well, keeping it away from the UHF antenna if possible. Now we've got our transmitter in the bottom of the pouch. We can simply turn the jersey right side out. And there we are.